I'm making this video on 5/6/2025, and so yesterday some pro-Hamas protesters took over a building on the campus of the University of Washington. They took it over. You're going to see in the news clips all that went down. Part of the protest is they're wanting the college or the university to divest itself of anything dealing with Boeing. Well, they took it over, and then SWAT moved in, and you're going to actually get to see some of what the police were doing there. Yeah, that didn't last long, and dozens have been arrested. So let's let you see the clips from the local news, and then we'll get into it a little bit.
This is
We continue to follow some breaking news at the UW campus where pro-Palestinian activists have gathered. They're protesting outside the interdisciplinary engineering building. This is a live look from the scene where we have seen people dressed in all black wearing keffiyehs and carrying Palestinian flags. The protests have also built, protesters that is, have also built a makeshift barricade blocking the entrance and have put up posters with the name Shaban al-Dalu. He's a Palestinian teenager who was killed in an Israeli bombing. We'll stay on top of this throughout the night. KOMO's Jackie Kent is headed to UW. Watch for her report tonight on KOMO News at 11.
This is from the University of Washington, where crews just put out this fire during a protest on campus. This is right next to the engineering library. Pro-Palestinian demonstrators have been occupying a nearby building for about 6 hours now. Let's get right to King 5's Maddie White live on the scene with the latest. Maddie, what do we know?
Greg, it's a tense situation right now on UW's campus. Protesters, pro-Palestinian protesters, are facing off with Seattle Police Department's SWAT team. I'm going to show you what I'm seeing behind me here. So for about 20 minutes, Seattle Police Department SWAT team has been standing here facing off with the protesters. They just actually you can see they're running into the building. This is the engineering building that is being occupied by this Super UW group. It's called. It's a student protest group in support of Palestinian lives, and they are entering this UW building right now. There are people that are inside the building with furniture blocking several of the doorways. There's also the road being blocked off with furniture right now by these protesters. And we just heard over the intercom that the police have that they will be arresting any students who are trespassing inside the building right now. We just saw them throwing furniture that protesters used to block the doorway aside, and looks like police are entering the building right now. And again, this is a group of protesters that is part of a group at UW called Super UW. The protest started around 5 at the Interdisciplinary Engineering Building. A social media post from the group says the protesters are supporting Palestine and want UW to cut ties with Boeing because of the company's defense.
You can be subject to arrest.
Okay, so you
can peacefully protest on the west sidewalk. Do not interfere with these officers. Do not get in their way.
I just paused for a moment so that you could hear what the officers are saying. They're threatening arrest of these trespassing students. They want UW to cut ties with Boeing because of the company's defense contracts with the military, specifically what is being used to support the Israel Defense Forces. Police are on scene, like I said, and they say everyone inside the building is trespassing.
Seeing our students being attacked by universities and the police class, we feel it is our time to also escalate our political voice. And so we are here tonight to ask UW to not even ask UW, to require UW to cut ties with Boeing.
The student protester group told us that they will not leave the building until the university meets 3 demands, including that the university sever the building's ties with Boeing and turn it into a community-controlled space with pro-people education and cut financial and educational ties with Boeing, and end the expulsion, suspension, and all repression and targeted assault of pro-Palestine activism and activists. We are closely monitoring this tense situation right now. Lots of screaming going on behind me of protesters, but in the meantime, it's mostly peaceful now, though things are getting a little bit heated. Sending it back to you in the studio, I'm Maddie White.
Let us know how it goes out there, Maddie.
And according to CNN, more than 24 pro-Palestinian protesters were arrested Monday after occupying the engineering building at UW, where they demanded the university sever ties with Boeing over the aerospace giant's military contracts and role of supplying weapons used in the war in Gaza. Occupation of the interdisciplinary engineering building began shortly before the building closed at 5 p.m. Monday, according to Victor Balta, spokesperson for UW. The engineering building was partially funded by a $10 million donation from Boeing. Individuals mostly covered their faces, blocked access to 2 streets outside the building, blocked entrances and exits to the building, and ignited fires in 2 dumpsters on the street outside. The UW spokesman said about 30 individuals inside the building were arrested. Charges included trespassing, property destruction, disorderly conduct, and conspiracy will be referred to county prosecutors. And any students among them will also be referred to the Student Conduct Office. The protesters called for the building to be renamed after a teenage engineering student who was said to have been taken out in an airstrike in Gaza. A banner was hung from the 2nd floor window. Officers with the Washington State Patrol Rapid Deployment Teams entered the building along with campus police and Seattle Police. Washington State Patrol spokesperson Chris Loftus told CNN. Yeah, so they effed around and they found out and they were detained. So we're going to see what's going to happen to these folks. This has been Paul, Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.
So folks, that's the story that I wanted to bring you on this video. And I just wanted to say thank you again for coming by. Like, subscribe, comment, all that